Okay, so Path of Exile just announced 3 more Ascendancy classes for their new Legacy of Phrecia event, and they gave us a lot more information about the idle system changes that they're making. Today, we're going to go over those system changes, and more importantly, we're going to talk about, is the SurfCaster finally going to make fishing OP in Path of Exile? My name is Marv, do the YouTube things, and let's get into it. Okay, first, we're going to talk about the 3 new Ascendancies they've just announced. This one here is the Daughter of Oshavi. I'm going to be honest with you guys, the very first thing I thought about when I saw this was the Spell Slinger Volatile Dead Detonate Dead build from back in the day. You would use the Spell Slinger, which is a buff that you would put on yourself. It triggers socketed or linked skills in it when you use a wand attack, and you would use it in combination with Poet's Pen. I'll link those two here somewhere. And that would basically allow you to create quartzes when you would use Frenzy, and then you would use Volatile Dead on your Spellslinger, and that would make the balls that would kill things. It was a really fun build. I think if you pair that with the Woodland Shrines and the Innate Blessing, this could be a really just easygoing, fun mapper. Now, I think some people are going to play with the Oath of Magi and the Force Tracking and do some type of like evasion stacking Dream Feather build. If you think about where we are, it's pretty easy to get around 4,000 evasion on a chest. You double that, we're at 8,000. You get 2% increased attack damage. Just from your chest alone, you're getting what, like 25% increased damage just at those numbers. You think about Dream Feather, which I'll be linking here as well. That's another 1% increased attack damage. I think somebody is going to use this and make a really good build out of this. Maybe even like a kinetic blaster or something with the wisp and the spell slinging. I think there's some really cool potential there. I'm excited to see what some people do with it, but for me personally, if I play this build, I'm going spell slinger Volatile Dead. Now we're on to the Antiquarian. That has taken me so many times to practice to get it right. It is the hardest word to say in my opinion. And for that reason, I think I've kind of wrote this off from the very beginning. But for me, this is just a bunch of random uniques thrown as ascendancies. I'm not really seeing the vision personally. I think somebody out there who has a much bigger brain than me or a much smoother brain than me is going to be able to figure this out. No, I have the smooth. Somebody with a big brain is going to be able to figure this out. That person isn't me. And I think once they do, they're going to have a lot of fun. But I see this here. You have no intelligence. And all I can think about is all of the skill gems that you can't use because they require intelligence, and it hurts. It hurts my brain and it hurts my heart. So I'm probably going to be staying away from this. I do think some of these ward skills here, some of this ward stuff here is going to be really cool. I think somebody's going to make some ward loops with this, but for me personally, the name's hard. You need a big brain, and I'm going to be staying away from this for a bit. I can't wait to see what some people do. You guys tell me, what are you planning for the Antiquarian? Okay, now, the SurfCaster. This is the one that I'm excited about for a few reasons. I mean, it's talking about fishing. It's giving you a bunch of cast speed, movement speed. You've got reverse chill. I think this Ascendancy has got a lot of potential, and I am thinking about rolling this Ascendancy first. So there's a couple different builds that I've thought about with this already. Please tell me, am I wrong? I could be completely, just tell me. Okay, so you go Ghost of the Deep, you go Bated Breath, you go Screaming Reels, and the fourth one I haven't quite figured out, just because with Bated Breath, if you're using a fishing rod, you don't really need the critical strike chances increased by the overcatch resistance. So I gotta figure this out. But you do the Ice Nova Frostbolts. It was a pretty popular build in Settlers. It's been around for a long time. I think with this amount of cast speed and movement speed, you won't even need to use the Katava's Thirst stuff to make it a 1-button build. I think you'll have enough cast speed to make the 2-button playstyle not feel terrible. I think that could be a really fun build. So that's one of the ideas that I'm having. Another idea that I'm having is going the complete opposite side of the tree and then taking your Stormy Seas, so you get all of your damage converted to cold damage. You take within Tempest, so you can play with stuff like Impulses. Impulses, for everyone who doesn't know, I'll be linking it somewhere around here. Basically makes your shocks explode for 5% of the target's health, and you take that, they're exploding, they can proliferate, that proliferates, and it kind of just makes this really beautiful, awesome explosion. I think using that with something like Blade Vortex or a Kinetic Blast could be really, really fun. And then you put in changing seasons so that you have reverse chill. For the people who are new to Path of Exile 1, action speed is the king. It is phenomenal. It makes the game just feel buttery, smooth, and awesome to play. And you get a bunch of it from reverse chill. I don't know. I'm super excited about this. I need to know what you guys think about the changes that they're making so far. Tell me in the comments, do the YouTube things, and let's get into the idols. So for the idols, I think there's just a few big questions that we need answers to, and the community has been very vocal about some of the doubts that they have, and I think GGG has done a pretty good job addressing most of those here, and I'll go over them now. The biggest one is one of the first ones is, how powerful are the idols? This can be kind of summed up in the very last little bit here, and it says fully optimized set of idols could easily have more than 3 times the amount of different content, or over 3 times the power of one type of content. Now they word this a little bit weird. 3 times the amount of different content, or 3 times of one. Sounds like you can either spread out a little bit more or spread up a little bit more. We'll see once we get some more of the modifiers that can roll in this, but at least we're gonna have, sounds like some power creep. Sounds like we're gonna get some juice. Juice is good. Happy. Next one is are we gonna be getting a lot of these? And basically this can be summed up here. Certainly getting many per map. I think once we get into red tier maps, the majority of these are going to be left on the ground. I don't think we're going to be picking these up, and I think that is a bad design decision. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it's a good design, but we'll figure it out. I think a bunch of them are going to be dropping. I think we're just going to have to figure out which ones are important, which ones can roll the modifiers we want, and those are going to be the only ones we pick up. We know it's not a replacing the Atlas tree. They said that this is just for the month. They've talked about how this has been something that was past development. We'll see, but yeah, it's not replacing the Atlas tree. Thank God. They said they're going to be announcing some quality of life features now. They're going to be announcing, or some not announcing, but releasing some loadouts or lockouts for different sets. I think that's awesome. I'm glad that they're going to be doing some quality of life stuff, because I thought it was going to be terrible to have to manage 3 different sets or 4 different sets of different idols. I'm glad they're doing that. There is a meta system. We're going to start off with 20 slots and work our way up to 32 slots. That's cool. You'll be progressing those by killing, I'm sure, you know, once you get through like white tier maps and yellow tier maps. And basically they said you're going to, or how you unlock your favoriting system now. There's going to be some rewards. Can't wait to see what we get there. Is there this? Okay, this is a big one here. Is this content being used as a testing ground for future expansions for Path of Exile 2? No. A lot of people have thought that this idea is a good idea, or could be a good idea, for Path of Exile 2's mapping system. And I agree. I think this could be a really good idea for Path of Exile 2's mapping system, or at least an addition to what they currently have to help juice it up a little bit more. But they've said here that no, this is not a testing ground for Path of Exile 2, and that is something I am happy about. And they kind of go on about a couple other things. You know, is this going to be a 1-month league? Can we go longer with it? Yes, we're going to be able to. A couple other things. Overall, I am excited that we're getting movement. That's what I'm excited about. We're finally getting some announcements. We're getting some things going. We're getting close to where we're going to be able to play Path of Exile 1 again. And I am super excited about that. Tell me what you guys think about all of the changes and the new Ascendancies in the comments below. I'm Marv. Do the YouTube things, and I hope you guys have a great one.